Good afternoon. It's already 4 p.m. here in Quebec. As you can see, it's already dark outside. You have to get the good timing if you want to train outside. But today we don't train outside. Today we have the mods machine, the Zwift session I coach every week during the 4 months of winter here. I thought I would walk you through what I do to make sure I benefit the best from those workouts. So I'll do a session actually before the workout that complements it. So it's gonna give us a total workout time on the bike of about 2 hours and 45. I'm gonna also be preparing the bottles and the fuel I'm gonna use on the bike. I've changed a little bit my method for the last 2 weeks now, and it's been serving me very well. So I'll show you that. And after that, I'll take you through a little bit of my training. We'll do some strength work just after the workout session to complete it as good as we can, and we'll finish it with a recovery meal and a recovery drink, and after that I think we'll call it a day. So let's do it. So I'm in the midst of making my bottle now. So I've been changing a little bit in the last 2 weeks. Like I said, I've been more and more comfortable doing longer rides with less calories. And I've kind of got into the habits of eating less and less on the bike. But with the study I've been reading and the searching I've been doing a little bit, I'm really refocusing on making sure I fuel well on the bike. That doesn't mean I will not continue to do my fasted ride. That doesn't mean that some ride I'm going to purposefully do less carbs. But for a high intensity ride like today, I'll for sure make sure I'll have enough carb. So how I'm gonna proceed, I'm gonna aim at about 90 to 100 grams of carb per hour. So that's gonna be 2 gels per hour. So that's 40 grams plus 60 gram in every bottle of carb. So if I drink 1 bottle plus 2 gel every hour, I'll have a total of about 100 gram of carbs every hour. So with what we know, that's what the science agree is the most optimal plan to have a great workout. We are on the trainer. Today's workout is pretty simple. We'll be working 2 zones, so we'll be working the tempo and the max power. Because I just started back training, I'm not really doing threshold work and VO2 max work. Pretty much only doing like long volume ride, endurance ride with some tempos, a little bit of sweet spot, and some max power work that I will mix with some musculation and explosivity work after the training. I prefer after the training. So today that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some max power work. So the objective of the training will really be on max power. So I'll do some short sprint by myself, not all out, but almost all out. I'll really be focusing on my technique, trying to be as much as I can centered on the bike. And once we'll be live on the mods machine, then we'll really try to hit those peak numbers, and we'll finish the session, like I said, working the same zone on the mat with some weight. So that's the training for today. Should be kind of a hard training, not really mentally, but physically. So let's do it. First series of interval done. So it was 7 times 5 seconds with a little build up before every sprint. Went super well. I was aiming for about 80% of my max power. So I was around 1100 watts, so nothing too hard. It's amazing how just focusing on execution, focusing on having a great core can actually help you produce a lot of power. I didn't feel like I was at all tired after every sprint, so that's a very good news. Excited to see how much I can hit on the live session with everyone online. Now we have a block of tempo, some sweet spot interval, and after that we transition into the live Zwift session. First part of the workout is done. We only have the live session left. It starts in 2 minutes, unless you haven't seen my Zwift setup and all the lights for the live session. Here it is. So last push before the strength workout. Let's do it. We are done with the live session. So here's the workout. Average power 263, time 2 hours and 9 minutes, TSS 120. So that's the live session, and that's the pre-workout I did. Average heart rate 156. A lot of work tempo wise and a lot of max power work. Super happy with the session. Now I just had a half of a bar and finish my 3 bottles, and we'll do a quick 20 minutes explosivity session, and then I'm gonna walk you through my recovery drink and my recovery meal, and maybe an extra trick, but we'll see. Recovery drink is done. Just protein powder, actually not protein powder, recovery powder, because there's not just protein, there's also a lot of carbs, actually like 3 times more carb than protein. It's been a long time since I use actually protein powder, at least like 1.5 years or 2 years, but one of my good friends, Charles Couture, convinced me to go back to recovery powder. So I've been trying that for the last 2 weeks. Just be careful if you go for that, then especially if you're an athlete, make sure it's certified, it's tested by a third party to make sure there's nothing in it that could be illegal. That's something you for sure want to avoid. I think it happens rarely, but you want to sleep with a peace of mind at night, so be sure it's like NSF certified. If it's not certified by this one, I just don't take it. Now we're going into a hot bath, not a nice bath. So after the workout, I usually prefer hot exposure, so you can see it as an extra interval, so the hot will keep your heart rate elevated, so it's just like it increases the inflammation, it increases the charge on your body. You can see a nice exposure, a cold exposure, as an anti-inflammatory. So if you go in the hot, it elevates heart rate, so you push your body a little bit more. If you go into the cold, it's like if you would remove one of the intensity, so it's your choice. If you have another big day the day after, I would maybe do hot exposure. But if the day after you have like a volume day, an endurance day, or a recovery day, then I would advise you to do hot exposure rather than cold exposure. Today, because it's pretty late, I'll actually go in the hot for 10 minutes. Normally I would just go out of the hot and let my body cool off. But today, because it's not too long before my bedtime, I'll actually take just a cold shower to kind of help my body cool off a little bit, making it a little bit easier for my body to fall asleep. So I'm gonna call it a day. As usual, if you like the content, please like it, please comment or share it with your friend, or even subscribe if you're not already. It will really help the channel grow, and I'm really thankful for you to do that for me. And as usual, take care of yourself by making the most optimal choice in every moment, and do the same. Take care of the ones you love.